Tam fam, please welcome Kayla Gore to the show. My tears are tears of joy that someone like you exists in this world. What are your tears?
Acceptance on a national level, my community being highlighted in a positive way. Tears of joy.
You have the power through this platform you created to share stories and to help people. Could you ever imagine it?
Never in a million years. I know growing up, I always wanted to help people. I just didn't know what capacity that would be in. And then the opportunities just like presented themselves before me. And I appreciated the opportunities and I like went through them with grace.
You know, you talk about in the piece having the support of your family, which is often not the case.
Right.
And you had that building block to help you find your journey. For people who don't understand or who may underestimate that, how do you get them to understand that family support, that foundation?
I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the support of my mom, my brothers, my aunts, my uncles, encouraging me with everything I've done in my life, whether that's with being a part of the gay community and then also transitioning and becoming a transgender person of color. We get calls a lot at the shelter from parents of trans individuals who are like, you know, they're coming out of a hospital or they're coming out of an institution and they can't come here. And those are the hardest conversations. Because it's like, I want to shake the phone, you know, because I'm like, this is your child.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one who you birthed, you know, and for you to be calling me a complete stranger and you're concerned about, you know, what kind of place is this? What kind of services do you provide? Because I want to come and drop my child off there because they can't come here because of how they present in the world.
Is that so conflicting on one hand? You're on the call and they say they can't come here, but I want to check out what you have to offer. So there has to be some love that you would even pick up the phone to wonder about the place.
It's a mind-boggling thing. And I have to like put myself in the parent situation and I'm like, you know, like what beliefs did you have growing up? Like what personal biases do you have against LGBTQ people, particularly trans people, that you would like, you know, shun your own child away? You know, is public acceptance more important than, you know, your child knowing that you're affirming of them, that they have the love and support of you? I think
They have safety, right?
They have
just
safety,
look at those names,
yes.
that they are safe potentially in a home with you.
And majority of the time, that's when the parents are calling after their child has experienced, you know, horrendous violence that has put them in the hospital, and they're trying to make preparations for them when they are discharged. And you know, and it's really, really hard. It's excruciating as a Black trans person leading the charge on the work that we do and not being able to really say what I would love to say to some of the parents, because it's like, you know, it doesn't take a lot to love, you know, anybody.
All right, so you have your own journey, Kayla. Then you decide, I want to help other people. And the donations started coming in. Were you stunned?
I absolutely was stunned. It was astounding. Like every day we would wake up and it would be, you know, a $30,000 increase or a $100,000 increase. And we're like, this is a real thing and we're gonna actually get to do this thing here in Memphis. We just didn't expect the support to be so overwhelmingly great.
The numbers are around 41% of Black trans people experience homelessness. You know this firsthand. So you start to build, have you ever built a home before?
No. I built a birdhouse in summer camp.
Okay, that doesn't count, Kayla. You built a birdhouse once. I mean, so you dream big. You go from, I'm gonna build a birdhouse, I'm gonna figure out, obviously you have the money coming in, but you also need the help.
Yes.
And the help came in
Yes.
from far away and near.
Yes. So we had architects from Indianapolis reach out to us because they saw some of the campaign on Instagram. And they came in and helped us do our first pilot of our duplexes is what you're seeing here behind us. Is two 400 square feet duplexes that they designed with community in Memphis over Zoom throughout the pandemic. It was amazing that they reached out to us and they were like, we want to schedule a call and talk about the project. And at the end of the call, they were like, we're going to do all this work for you pro bono. And I was like,
So initially, this was going to be temporary emergency housing, and it turned into...
Initially, we had an idea of a birdhouse, basically. Walls, window, doors, porch. You know, nothing like too elaborate, just somewhere for people to have, you know, sanctuary, have to have safety, have comfort and stability. And we were gonna do this on the land that we already owned.
Yeah.
So we were gonna build some sheds in the back of the yard.
And this is you featured on National Geographic.
Yes, this is our first tiny home. And the person that received that tiny home, they've been living in their house for over a year now.
What does it feel like to watch somebody put that key in and turn that key to their home, a home built by your love, and by your ability to be proud of yourself? How does that feel?
Words can't even describe it. Yeah, words can't even describe it. And it doesn't even feel like reality because the world is still moving and there's still a lot of work to do. And we don't really get a lot of opportunities like this to be on the Tamron Hall show and celebrate what we're doing in our local communities. But words can't describe like the feeling that I have when I just to get to tell somebody that we're working on your house. You know, what colors would you like? You know. Yes. So yeah, words could never describe like the feeling that you get giving somebody that autonomy over their lives. Like, yeah.
You know, I asked you earlier, could you have ever imagined this? And you said there in a million years. The show is about being proud of oneself. What is your message to the kids around the world as we have this conversation?
My message would be that I once felt like I didn't belong, that nobody cared about me. But it took community to show me that there was value in me. And I want people to understand that that's what they have to look forward to. Like, it may not be perfect right now, but there are people like myself who are advocating day and night to make sure that the playing field is level for people coming behind us. When I think about the tiny homes, I'm thinking about that these homes will last for 50, 100 years, that people will be able to continuously build generational wealth within our communities and outside of our communities. And we're building homes in neighborhoods that have been underserved, neighborhoods that I actually grew up in. So that's what I want to tell people is that there's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow.